one more episode of Red Seat, last one of 2020. What's up, y'all? It's Jazzy and Manny here.
What's up? I'm back. Good to be back.
Yeah, he's good to be back. As y'all remember, last episode was
more roasting.
Yeah. What do you mean?
The kids roasted me.
No, but today I'm roasting you.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, my goodness. It's barely our 5th episode, and I feel like it's been a lot more than that just because of all the behind the scenes that goes on putting together a podcast. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'm very amazed on how many people actually tune in and how many people still are like, I'm ready for the next one. Okay, y'all. Somebody told us this week, so do you think maybe you guys would be able to do at least 2 of them a week? And we were like, No. We don't want to bore you guys too fast and make you guys run away. But anyways, first and foremost, thank y'all so much for the incredible support, not only for Red Seat for this podcast, but in general for Red. It was a crazy year, I understand, but man, these people are still like loyal customers that continue just supporting us. You know what I mean? Yeah. Still are looking forward to next drops, and it's just incredibly amazing. So I'm excited to meet people 2021 to hear their Red testimony, how they got through 2020 and what they're still doing, in 2021 as they continue to overcome stuff. Because let's be real, sure, the new year is already going to be in a couple of days. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean from one day to another things are going to change.
Correct. Yeah.
So, well, this episode, what is this episode called, Manny?
Working together.
Why are you doing a big huff like? You're worried. Are you worried what I'm going to say?
I'm very worried. Because you're straightforward. You're not going to sugarcoat it.
Yep,
and yeah. So let's.
Long story short. All right. This is a story of how Manny and Jazzy met. By the way, hold on. Let me pause that. My story is the correct one.
Okay. All right.
You're already going to agree to that?
No, yes. We're yeah. Jeez.
If y'all are watching on YouTube, you're probably like, damn, he is nervous. So, once upon a time, I'm saying the story.
Oh, you are? No, okay.
Because mine's the correct one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We met March 10th, 2009. My best friend, Josh, oh my gosh, love that guy. My best friend, Josh, had told me, hey, this guy that I know, and at that time he worked for a corporate company. He's like, this guy that I know is looking for models for his MMA brand, which was Furious brand at the time. And, I told him to message you. Manny messaged me, oh my gosh, this is freaking old school, on MySpace. And I wish I can log into my MySpace account because you said, well, you definitely aren't shy. Those are the first words you said. And then we met up. You talked to me about your brand and what you were looking for. It wasn't really models, even though that was a term, but you were looking to have somebody at your booth
at the MMA shows.
Yeah, at the MMA events. Mm-hmm. And someone that was just outgoing, that was like going to talk to people and sell or be out there promoting like, hey, we got this brand over here, so on and so on. So we met. We were not looking, actually, no, we were both going through divorces. So we were not looking for love. We were like relationships. No, definitely not. We were definitely not, capital letters, definitely not attracted to one another.
Absolutely not. I mean, like, capital A. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. Then just things started sparking and voila.
Wait, hold on. We got to reverse.
Oh my God.
We have to, when we initially met, walked into the shop that I had at the time, and the first words were, hi, my name's Jazzy, I got to pee. Okay? In that moment, you took off. Yes. In that moment, you took off to the restroom.
Okay, you know what?
Well, hold on. No, I didn't know how, detailed you wanted to get into this episode.
Okay, let's do this.
But you come out, And while you were in the restaurant, I'm like, oh my God. Her eyelashes came in the store before she did. Okay.
You're so mean.
Her nails are freaking
They're not as long anymore.
Yes, very, very long.
So I was super tanned. I was a very thick girl. I had long black hair. I was very thick. Oh my gosh, I was nothing wrong. Hey, hashtag thickness is beautiful. Shit, I wish I can get back to looking like that. I look like a twig now. And I was kind of like the Mexican version of Snooki. Remember Snooki?
Yes.
Do y'all remember Snooki for freaking? Yeah, I was like
taller,
that.
but
A lot taller. Yeah, but technically that.
Yeah.
That's how I looked.
Right on.
And then so that was in March of 2009. So I had only been living here from June of 2008 to, so that was probably I don't know, 8 months. I can't do the math correctly. So I wasn't here for that long. So I had that thick Califas hood accent. You said that I would talk like a chola or something.
Yeah.
That was all,
pretty,
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, now, I lost my
Fast forward.
Yeah, because you took it. Wow. Okay. You know what? We're about to get real up in this shit. And then we just ended up liking each other. We fell for each other.
Correct.
I was actually supposed to move back to California when we met, but I was so intrigued. I was ready to go move back. Remember, I had stuff to. I was like, within 2 weeks, I was like, oh, I'm already gonna move back. How is this gonna work? But I was like, you know what? Let me get involved with this. Let me understand what this whole brand, having a brand, your own business, or just being part of something other than the lifestyle that I was living. And it fascinated me. Like, I am a nerd when it comes to numbers. I freaking love numbers. Like, it will be to the last penny. Like, I have everything. So like, I'm just so big about that. So I was like, you're doing stuff wrong. Again, I was not a major in business admin or accounting. I just the jobs that I had previously, I was always involved with that, with money and numbers. So you were just doing something. I'm like, what in the world are you doing? So I kind of started helping you in that. And I just kind of got more involved with that. And from then on, I just began helping you with just anything that you needed on the back end of business, which is still, fast forward now, practically what I do for Red.
Right.
You are supposed to stay in your side of the warehouse, which is the back printing area. Right. I'm here up in the front and running numbers, inventory, and just other stuff behind the scenes. But sometimes you don't do that and you mess up my inventory, which pisses me off so much because, oh my gosh, Alexandra and I are constantly she's like, Daddy again started touching stuff and now everything's, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, we just did an audit. We're going to have to do another one. Yeah. So please, I ask you, and it's on record, that your New Year's resolution should be, do not touch anything that belongs to me, Red, numbers, inventory. Do you promise?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Promise.
So then we'll never, ever, ever stop saying hashtag it's all your fault to my best friend Josh, because he's the one that introduced us when you had, what did you ask him? Like, do you know someone that's outgoing, right? Something
just pretty much asked him, just needed somebody, a female. Female to be at the MMA shows and set up a booth and all that. And what do you call it? One of the things that sticks out, and the reason we're doing this and kind of setting it up is because it hasn't always been how can I say, non-stressful, butting heads, all those things that couples are do, but when you become business partners, pretty much, for all those couples out there that are either getting into starting their own business or have been working together, know that it's not a smooth road, and you just got to learn how to balance it and how to, give each other that space that if something does go wrong, it's not always going to be smooth. But anyway, I always tell people when we meet them that when I did get you to go to one of the MMA shows, I remember that you clearly like to enjoy beverages and
adult beverages,
and you were right there in the booth. I don't know how long exactly, but after that, you just took off. You went upstairs. You had drinks and all that stuff.
And I loosened up.
And you loosened up, and I'm like, I'm like, this is not gonna work.
That was okay. That was not me.
But then you came back, and all those guys were buying shirts, and I'm like, what the hell?
I was so out of my comfort zone. I showed up. It was an MMA / like kind of biker theme. So I showed up. I think I still have the picture. It was a jean skirt with these long black boots. I just felt so out of place, but I was like dressing the part, like dress, you know. And I was there, and how outgoing I was.
Yes.
All of a sudden, like I just froze, and I was like, what am I supposed, like, I've never, like, what do you, I didn't understand exactly. Once I got there, everything, like, you had already told me the day before, don't worry, you're going to do great. Your personality, like this and this and that. And then I just froze. But going back to me having some drinks upstairs, that was all Junior.
Yeah.
Junior was there, which is Manny's older son. So, Junior, it's your freaking fault that your father's putting me on blast, because he's like, hey, I'm like, what? He's like, come here. And then he did. He's like, here you go. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, like, I don't know what to do. And he did. He was like, you're going to be fine. I came prepared. If you're watching on YouTube, I just pulled from and for y'all listening, I'm going to try to say it the best way I can, so that way you can get a visual or whatever in your mind. I literally just pulled out from the left side of the seat of mine. I just pulled out a freaking roll of toilet paper, because I'm just going to leave it here. I need this. I get so emotional with stuff, and just thinking about that, it was fun. And then we get together, and then we're doing life together, and then we're doing business together. And then I had mentioned it before with the kids in the last episode, the MMA scene started dying out. The opportunity with that brand, with Furious brand, to be part of the UFC, just all that stuff, it wasn't going to be able to happen. So due to contracts that the UFC signed with a well-known brand, that they ended up sponsoring all their fighters. So then that went away. Furious retired, and then Red came about. When I met you, you already had a Furious. Then together, we built Red, and that has been a heck of a road.
One crazy ride.
Because to get to that, we were so broke. If y'all, maybe it's still the same now, but if y'all want to know where to go have Mondays, what dollar menu is the best, or
Taco Tuesdays.
Or Taco Tuesdays, this place here in San Antonio that has this amazing pizza, and it's like for $5. That's usually we would get on Wednesdays.
Right.
Every day, y'all, we would figure out if we're gonna eat out, where's the spot to eat out.
Right.
And sometimes it would be McDonald's dollar menu.
Budget all week long.
And you would think, well, why wouldn't you just buy food with that money instead of eating out? But that was our way to treat ourselves. And we had Matt at the time. He was living with us. And Matt at the time was, when we were struggling through this season, he was probably about 16, 17.
Our entertainment was watching YouTube videos.
On Sundays.
On Sundays.
Sundays, yeah. And I would purposely... we were just so freaking dead broke. I would purposely tell Matt, so whose house are you going to go after school? And he knew what that meant, because those parents were better off, and thank the Lord to them, they were feeding him. Mm-hmm. We weren't, sometimes you would go without eating. Right. We just didn't have, we would buy loaves of bread, and it was just, man, such a hard time in our personal life. I would go to my parents. My parents wouldn't say, we bought y'all food. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget. My parents were like, oh, we just have extra food. Here you go. But it's just like, we weren't telling each other, they weren't like, here's this, we bought this for you. We were struggling. And then we finally were able to get back on our feet. And that's when you got our rent money, that we're finally going to pay rent on time. And you were like, let's not pay it. Let me just flip this over. I have this brand, which we already talked about that before. And Red came about, and we were able to do that. So,
and just to be clear, so we're going through all this phase. I don't have a regular job. I left a job of 14 years because I wanted to take a chance, on what I truly believe. that I was meant for more. I knew there was something else. So it's not like I had a regular job and we were still struggling. Jazz was without a job. I was without a job. But what do you call it? But yeah, we found a way, and
I'm not afraid to go back to that.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I do it all over again.
Yeah. I'm not. We never know like what tomorrow's gonna bring. Mm-hmm. We definitely enjoy our lives to the fullest together, business wise, as a family. I'm not afraid to go back to that because I know we can get through it.
Right.
That we can get, if we got through that season of our lives, we can definitely get through anything else. And it has taught us a lot because even though we work together, we don't argue. We have disagreements. Two different things. You're one to preach to people. Do not argue. Disagree. Right. When you argue, you're just setting yourself to make it worse than what it probably is.
When you argue, nobody wins. It's just back and forth.
Back and forth, back and forth.
I'm going to say this to hurt you. You're going to say something to hurt me, and, so on and so on. But when you start, discussing, telling, hey, because you said this, it made me feel this way.
Yeah, and we're very good. We're not perfect. We can probably we can probably like finish this podcast and we're gonna disagree on something that'll be like
Jazz will find some way to get after me after this. Trust me.
Yeah, I
do. 100% right there.
Yes, it's very true. But y'all were so like talking and then y'all post pictures and this and that. We are truly happy. Mm-hmm. Don't get that wrong.
Absolutely.
Do not. The love, the happiness, it's there. The disagreeing, again, it goes back to disagree. You're going to like a style of shirt. I'm not going to like it. We're going to disagree. But no, it's going to sell better this way. Okay, talk about it. Be done. That's it. Move on. That's what it comes down to. Working together, it's very, very, I don't want to say hard. I'm going to say the word challenging. Yeah. Because, again, you're going to like something. I'm not going to like it. How are we going to come into an agreement? It is very challenging because we can be here at the warehouse working on something and then we take it back home. We still kind of go over, talk it over, and it's like never ending. Mm-hmm. I understand having a business, it's never going to end. It's 24/7. Mm-hmm. That is our bread and butter. Yeah. I completely understand that. But it gets very challenging because sometimes we're like, we're not going to talk about Red. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to be here in the moment with the kids, with Alexander and Alexander. When we gather together with the other two, Junior and Matt, and the grandkids and everybody, it's so hard not to talk about business.
Absolutely.
Because it is our life.
Yeah.
But even at that, like, just the beauty of it, to see how we're able to still talk through things, mm-hmm. not kill each other.
Yeah.
In the midst of just when and I'm pointing over here to my left again, we have everything ready to go for the biggest sale that we're going to have of the end of the year, and we were not agreeing on how we were going to go on about that sale. You wanted to have something. I wanted to have something else. And now, thankfully, we can have like the third person in there, which is our daughter, that kind of does help us out to kind of like, okay, guys, she has to side with somebody, which most of the time, who does she side with?
With you.
Yeah, with me.
Yeah.
But
she fears you. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But, I mean, while you were talking, I was thinking of one thing that you said how we were able to, work together and get through everything and all that. Remember when we would be asleep and all that, and those times that I would just like pop up. I just like pop up in the middle of the night,
that was so scary.
And go and start, get on the computer or sketch something out and everything, because I had an idea, and
it's like your brain just never.
Yeah, and I learned to do that. I learned to slow down and everything, because before it was no matter what time of the night it was, I was jumping up and go and write it down. And
I'm getting emotional just looking at you. I'm listening to what you're saying, but as I'm looking at you, look where we're at.
Yeah.
This is so, you guys, whatever you're going through with your significant other, either you have a business together or you don't. but you're working with someone to accomplish something and you're just struggling, don't give up. Okay? If it's in your heart, if God called you to it, he will get you through it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at you and I'm getting emotional because we're talking about that, how you used to do that and you still sometimes still do. That brain of yours just never stops. Man, y'all don't give up.
Yeah.
Because whatever it is that is embedded in your heart, you will make it happen. If both of y'all are in the same page, if both of y'all want to succeed, if both of y'all are supporting.
Yeah, and that's the reason we chose this topic, working together, because with everything going on right now, people are choosing to, create, jobs or their business. And, it's scary, and people are going to bump heads right off the bat.
Yes.
It's not easy. Don't ever think, if you set yourself up thinking, yes, we can do it. A lot of people, you'll always hear people say, oh, family, don't mix business with family. Don't give me that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of big time companies out there, that run businesses, multi-billion-dollar companies and all. So don't tell me that. It's just finding the balance, the balance, finding, your weaknesses and your partner's strength and so.
Your weaknesses are my strengths and my weaknesses are your strengths. Yeah. That's how you have to find some type of balance. This shit is not easy. Working with someone is not. It can be someone that you just see later on, like a relative, but then when you have to live together, it is not easy again. If you guys are both hungry for success, you're going to be able to do it. And sometimes we know some couples that a husband has a business, but then, the wife may not. She may have her own job or whatever the case is. One of them is not part much of the business, but they're still there supporting each other.
And that was one of the things that, not to go backwards or anything like that, but that was the biggest thing about you. Remember I told you, I go, and you said we weren't attracted to each other, but just the support that you showed me, and you were just like, you were, you had your job and everything, and just the continuous support. And every time I kind of like, I would get these migraine headaches that, I'm thinking like in 20 directions, you would come, breathe and settle me down. And okay, now, okay, so what do you need to do? And you would kind of like map it out for me and how to tackle everything, and till this day, you still do that. I started losing it. And, like you said, I have so much going on all the time. That it's just it's awesome.
I really thought you were going to put me on blast badly, but you're doing a pretty good job.
Well, no, you're
I'm about to cheer for that.
Yeah, no.
Which reminds me, okay, what is one word in our business working relationship? What is one word that you would use to describe me? One.
Supportive.
That was the word I was hoping you would say, because if not, I was going to be like, you've got to be kidding me. No, I am how I am. Soy como soy. I will get after you or at home, or I will be like, are you serious? And why wasn't this done this way? And I'm a very, very blunt person. However, I'm very loving. But the number one thing that he can never, ever, and you're on camera, so you can't agree to this, and I'm not pinching him or twisting his arm to agree to this. The number one thing that you can never, ever in your life say that I'm not is supporter, right?
Correct. Yes.
And I will toot my horn to that. Thank you very much. I am 1,000% supportive. Does that mean that, again, do I agree with everything? No. But when he has these ideas, when he has something, I'm just right there behind him because I believe in them too.
Absolutely.
So hands down, like, if I die before you, I would hope that in my tombstone you put...
Supportive.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much, because I am. And again, I will keep tooting my own horn because I am very supportive and I'm so damn proud of you.
Thank you. So how is it working with me?
It is, what's that word? Sometimes I just want to like grab you and choke you. Mm-hmm. Not sometimes, a lot of the times.
You know, sometimes I can almost feel it.
That I'm choking you with my mirada when I'm just staring at you like, how is it working with you? It is, I learn something every day. We've already, March when we met, March coming to 2021 will be 12 years that we met, 12 years ago. But even up to this day, almost 12 years later, I learn something from you every day. You're such a go-getter. You're such like, you just can't stay still. You want something. You want more. You want something new. You want to, and you go for it. You find a freaking way to do it. So I learn from you every single day. There's something. We're working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we will not talk about quite yet, but in business-wise, right? But and these new launches that we have coming up. So even when we're talking about this and the way that I hear you saying, I'm like, man, I'm learning this, I'm learning that. You are very, I've always told you, sometimes I'm like, I don't need my husband. I don't need the red Manny. I just need my best friend. I need the man that I met. So can you give me that right now? And I sit you down and I talk to you and I vent out and you just freaking motivate the way that you speak to people. It helps a lot. So you motivate me so much. You freaking teach me stuff daily. But then with that also comes that sometimes
here we go.
I just like, you frustrate me. after that nice speech. You freaking because you don't listen to me.
Yeah, I'm pretty hard-headed. I'll give you that. I'm pretty hard-headed.
I mean, you've loosened up a lot. You're not as hard-headed as you used to be when I met you. But like when it comes to freaking like at home, you have no say-so at home, right? Admit it.
Not at all.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah,
like
that's
at
why
home,
I'm hardly at home.
Yeah, you want to be at the warehouse. Hey, you're fixing up your office. It's coming out good. Is that where you're going to put a little cama there, a little bed in there, huh? You'd be like, I'm at the warehouse printing late. Don't bother me. No, at home, he has no say. So mama says, and that's it. It's my way. But thank you, guys. No, but you frustrate me because I tell you over and over, don't do that or do not touch my inventory. Don't mess things up. And you just don't listen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we need to work on that.
But goals for 2021.
Yeah. And then he's going to say, this was in my ear. So let's go on to 2022 and try that.
Fail already.
Yeah. But to finish that part of you saying, what is it working with you? It is never a dull moment. It is fun. It is adventurous. Like we don't have a normal lifestyle.
No, we don't.
Every day is different. We have to make sure we kind of set a lot of things already kind of like 2 weeks in advance on a lot of stuff because, we just have to always be on top of stuff with business, but even personally. However, like today we're saying, okay, tomorrow, this working day, we're doing this for tomorrow and things can just pop up. Like it's just very like, it's fun. It's fun not to have a typical 8 to 5 job. It's fun not to have, I don't know about you. I'm saying, and it's fun not having a boss. No, Manny is not my boss. But for you, you're probably like, well, I have to deal with you. It's kind of like having a boss. It is incredibly amazing. It's just so adventurous.
Yeah,
like and you know what? Our daughter was just saying that like a couple weeks ago. She's like, oh my gosh, like it's so cool just going to the warehouse sometimes because she's doing online school, right? So sometimes if I have to be working here, the kids come here. She has her own little office too. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes, we all have our own working space. So she's in her office. I'm in my area. Manny is back printing whatever he's doing. And she's just like, this is so awesome. And to hear that coming from our daughter, to see that, it's like, it's incredible. It's just so wonderful because, man, hopefully she goes and does her own business or whatever it is that she wants to do. And just to see your children so happy and to see what you're accomplishing, that right there, that's like the cherry on top. You know what I mean? How is it working with me?
Wow.
Drum roll. Is there a drum roll? I'm like using all these new little things that we download.
That we haven't used.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one too.
No, it's not a joke.
No.
What do you call it?
How is it working with me?
No, it's adventurous. It's adventurous. It's you know, you annoy me sometimes.
I really
You annoy
do.
me. Yeah. Well, not in like a bad way. Wait, is that such a thing?
I don't even
you
know.
annoy me, but not in a bad way.
In a good way. Wait, no. What do I do?
It's more that, and you know, let's be honest. Most of the time, I'll say something, you'll come back and say no and that, and I'm hard headed, and I'm like, no, this is the way it should be. And then after stepping back and kind of like thinking it over, you're right, and that frustrates me.
Oh, that's what annoys you. It annoys you when I'm right.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing it intentionally because it's just a gift of me of being right. So sorry, I can't fix that. My gift is there. So I annoy you. That annoys you.
No, but you know, it always works out. You know what I mean? Whether it takes some hours or days, you know, we always come around and it works out for the better. I have also learned a lot from you to kind of slow down a little bit, because before it was like 110 miles an hour. It was just go. You know, it came to a point to where it was just pure work.
Yeah.
And I've learned to set family time aside, kid time aside, mama time aside.
Yes.
So you've taught me that. You've taught me that I can still accomplish everything I need to do, get everything done in a timely manner. You know,
I'm in awe that you said you actually for me. Yeah, wow.
You know, and one thing that I will work on for the 2021 is that you've told me I got to be a little bit more active on social media.
Yes.
And I've tried, but with everything going on, you know.
And you even had said, he's like, you can just run my social media. Yeah. You've told me that, just do it. And I'm like, no. Okay, we don't have hundreds of thousands of followers. No, I know, and I don't give a shit about followers. Let's say that, and I emphasize that because
there's more to life than followers and likes. Thank you very much.
Where is it? Everybody on YouTube is like, why does she keep turning? We have everything here to the side, and I'm like moving my hand. Yes, you nailed it right there. There's more to life than just likes and followers. So what I mean is that the little bit of followers that we have is just being able to interact and relate with them and you know, show life, whatever it is that we want to show in our pages. But you actually don't copy and paste quotes. You come up with stuff yourself on your captions, you know, and a lot of them, it's very motivating. It speaks a lot to me too. Then I'm just like, wow, if it speaks to me, like, or even to our kids, like, what about other people? Right. And what Manny is trying to say about him, like, that he just gets so, like, you don't have time for it or whatnot. It's because we're just so busy. You rather use your time in a very productive way.
Correct.
I completely understand, but I'm like, you know, you can also find a way to kind of interact with people in there and show them a lot more behind the scenes. And I keep saying that because there's just a lot more to, here's this shirt. How did that come about? Yeah. You know, and I hope that you do try it out. You know, you're just very cautious on what you post.
Well, yeah. And I also, like, when I do post and all that, you know, I do it because, you know, I went through some shit. You know, I went through some shit as very young. I lived in government homes, you know, when I was little, and it was all drug addicts, gangbangers around me. I mean, that's the environment that I grew up in. And so
you've seen,
you know,
a lot.
On paper, the things that I've went through, I shouldn't even be here. You know, but with the grace of God, you know, I you know, I'm able to. So anytime that I do something, you know, people sometimes are like, man, you're so cool, and just the way you go about it, because, you know, I didn't grow up around that. You know, I didn't have nobody to vent out before. Everything was all, you know, negative stuff. So what do you call it? When I do that, it's what read this podcast. The post that I do, it's to reach that one person, Just that one person that could be, going through some shit, and if it could somehow encourage them to that, if all odds against them, that, if it could just help them flick the switch, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's why Red was created. And, we're doing this podcast, and some of the topics that we talk about, us working together, and other people that we bring on. And I keep on saying, and I need to stop that. I'm going to get better. Trust me, I will conquer this shit. I don't care if I have to be here at night talking to myself. I will get better at this.
Well, but you're just like, you're so like hard on yourself. Stop.
Very. And you know that.
Hey, if you guys don't want to hear Manny anymore in the podcast and you want it to be Jazzy's red seat, let me know and we'll kick him out. You're just so hard on yourself.
We'll do a poll.
You're not a freaking professional. I'm not a professional.
We'll do a poll. Solo or co-host.
Okay, sounds good.
Right.
Which, by the way, when Manny said, oh my gosh, remember when you told me about the podcast? And I told you that inside of me, I was so like excited. But I was like, first like, okay, like trying to listen. But I was like, oh my gosh, we have to. Why? Because I wanted to pursue a career in radio. And so I was like, when he said, hey, I'm thinking like, what are your thoughts also about us kicking off a podcast? I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But man, I was so excited. And the reason why I didn't show my excitement, like later on I did, but all crazy, like, oh my gosh, yes, let's do it, was because you would have said, and do not say no. I would have been like, oh my gosh, yes. Okay. Remember when I wanted to do like radio? You would be like, it's not about you, Jay. Okay. That's not the point. You would have said something like that. And I would have been like, oh gosh, here we go.
I did say I was going to make you famous someday. Didn't I not tell you that?
Honey, I am not famous. Oh my gosh. Stop. I'm like blushing over here. So I've been loving this because we're just being real. We're being ourselves. But I wanted to do this, and obviously I didn't end up pursuing that. Life happened. But any last thoughts of us working together?
It's not so much working that I want to say working together. I just want to keep on encouraging those couples that are out there that are getting after it, that are getting ready to, start up their own business. Stick to it. Stick to it, because you could just let it go, stop what you're doing, and 2 years from now you can look back and say, "Man, what if?"
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't back up. Like, again, if it's in your heart, I keep saying that, if it's in your heart, go for it, because you're gonna look back, could have, would have, should have, but didn't. Because what if? Like, try it. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, I was a little bit like nervous. Like, what if this podcast, and you guys, like, it's crazy to see all the like behind the scenes with the podcast, because people freaking listen. I'm like in awe. I'm like, what the, like, people are really listening. However, I said, let's go for it. I don't know. Who knows? Knock on wood. I don't want to jinx, right? But what if something happens and it's like, all right, by mid next year, this podcast doesn't exist anymore. Right. What if, right? Mm-hmm. I don't give a shit. I'm going to be very happy that we gave it our all.
You can look back and say, we did a podcast.
Yeah, we did a podcast, and it was just us being us and talking to people, and hopefully that one person that listens to this gets encouraged somehow through every single episode, So no, y'all continue. And also, even if I want to say, even if you have a significant other and you're not, y'all don't have a business together, doing life together, working together to accomplish any like personal goal that y'all have, that goes for y'all too. Keep at it. Do not give up. Do not let yourself be defeated by your struggles and your challenges. Those struggles and challenges are going to be, oh my gosh, they're going to be so worth it. Because again, look where we're at now.
Yeah. And this is coming from two people that were pretty much almost homeless.
Yes.
Jobless. People that were, let's just, be straightforward. We're pretty much getting at each other for a while, blaming each other for things happening and everything.
For
and,
the stuff that happened in our past,
right.
That we didn't even do to each other, and we were still we were carrying that baggage with us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Both of us were.
Yeah. So, doing that, the long, lonely trips, me and you, when we were doing the MMA events.
A year we did 30. It was either, I can't remember the numbers, it was between 32 to 36 shows that we did in a year. Mm-hmm. And the MMA, and we were MMA events, and we're just traveling all over Texas.
From one weekend, we took off on a Friday.
From San Antonio,
From San Antonio, drove to Odessa for a Friday night show.
Which is, tell people that are not from Texas, how far?
Odessa is about 5 hours.
So we drove on a Friday from San Antonio to Odessa, 5 hours there.
5 hours all the way over there, did the show, packed up, drove back to San Antonio, got up early the next day from San Antonio and did a show in Corpus.
Which Corpus is about two and a half hours.
So, yeah. And only because we had to drive through San Antonio. If not, we would have probably driven from Odessa to straight to Corpus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, we've said many times that we did this on our own. No loans, no credit cards, nothing like that.
Oh, my gosh.
When it came to going to Odessa and me, I was pinche. And for those people that don't know what that means, I was a penny pincher. So for us to finish a show at 11 o'clock at night and think that we were going to pay for a hotel room only to get up at 6 in the morning and head back out, I was like, no, I'll drive back.
Fabian, shout out. I don't even know if he listens. So Fabian was a promoter out there in Odessa and Midland. He would have shows over there. And when he heard that we were driving back, the next time that he had an event, like people were asking us, like these promoters were like, hey, y'all want to come and set up? And we would be the only ones there set up. Yep. And we're sharing this MMA part of our life, the season of our life, because again, that's how Red came about, was from Furious Brown. But once Fabian found out, he started
putting us up in
a hotel. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, no, it's fine. He's like, no, here you go. And man, I miss those days. I miss those MMA days because again, that's where our story began from that.
It molded us.
It did. It molded us because then from then on, just struggle after struggle after struggle. And we were like, what's going on?
But we never even thought of giving up. Maybe I did. And you talked me out of it.
Or maybe you played it off.
Yeah. But it was one of those, like I said, it was a long road. And again, we're telling people this because we never gave up. We continue to go through what we were going through. So many struggles. The shows, we'd love to do the shows because we were always meeting people, new fighters, wherever we were at. Even with Red, we travel and we meet people and all that and hear their stories. And
that's the thing with Red now to hear like people's stories. Or I always ask them once they know what Red stands for. I'm like, so what season in your life are you rebuilding, involved, and destroying? They're like, huh? So we get into conversations and I'm a people's person. Like I love meeting people. I love talking away and getting to just know their story a bit. Yeah. So
one of the quickest, because I forget things really fast. One of the best stories that was told to me was when we were down at Battle on the Bay. Kid comes up to me and he's about 16, 17, and
I'm looking at you like
he comes up to me and he's like, hey, I love your stuff and all that, but I don't really work out.
That's right.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, well, it's workout apparel, right? And I'm like, no, it's for anybody. I go, it represents anybody. And he goes, yeah, but I don't work out. I play football and I got hurt, and and I'm like,
you were right there. You're like,
I was like, oh man. I go, so you got hurt? I go, did you make a comeback, or you don't play football anymore? Did you just said screw it, this is it? And he goes, no, I didn't give up, and I went back and I did my therapy and all this steps that I needed to get back because I love football and I wanted to play. I go, so you represent Red, man. You rebuilt yourself, and I bet you came back even stronger and all that. And he goes, yeah, and I go, so you evolved. And now you're out and destroying everything that comes your way and all that. And the kid was like, poof.
I remember
And-
him because he came. I didn't know, we were busy, but you were talking with him, but you told me this story later on. However, he came like 2 or 3 times to the booth.
3 times.
to buy.
He bought a hat. He came back, bought another hat. He came back, bought a
shirt.
shirt. And then he brought his football friends over. And
Oh my God. See, it's those, at the moment, like, I wish I would have met. I remember him. I remember you talking to a young kid. I'm like, you just talk to people at the booths and whatnot. But oh my goodness, that's right. I forgot about that.
But it's the reason that we do those shows. It's and you know us, and people who know us, how we are. You're not going to pass by at one of our places that we're at set up, and you're just going to pass by and we're going to just look at you or anything like that. If you make eye contact, especially with me, it's game over. I will talk your ears off. I love to feed off people's stories and, the way they've overcome certain things, or even, you're talking to somebody and they're not used to being greeted or talked to like, you really genuinely care, which we do. We don't meet people just to meet people.
Yes.
We want to know who they are. You never know when somebody's going through something. But like I said, it's one of those things that working together, we've gotten to. Again, I talk to people. You take care of business at the booths. So it's just
we balance it out.
Absolutely.
We balance it all out. It is. It's. I thank you for. How can I tell you? I thank you for trusting me. I'm going to end it at that. Okay. We went over longer than we expected. But I thank you for trusting me when we met and having me part of the back end, the behind the scenes of Furious, because I learned a lot that I've been able to apply that now with Red and then some, for trusting me, because who would have thought that the Mexican Snooki Chola look-alike would step into your shop, and that I would be helping you in a business way, but at the same time you would be helping me in my personal life, and then vice versa throughout the months that came along with that.
I want to thank you for the continuous support for many, many years, for all the shit I put you through. I think that's huge for all you couples listening out there. So
Manny is a big teddy bear now, big, and he doesn't like it because he says he gets emotional just by probably seeing a bird dying outside, I guess, right? Anything kind of just, man, you're a big teddy bear now. But when we met, again, we had a lot of baggage. We're carrying our past with each other. And, thank you for admitting to that. Yeah, Manny put me through hell. He did. He really did. And it was a very, very capital HARD, hard. He was very hard to deal with. Now you are not, that person is long and gone. Thanks be to God, and for you to wanting to change yourself. I never asked you, you need to do this, you need to do that, and you on your own wanted to change. So even though you're my husband, and even though we're going to go home together after this, I'm just going to put it on record that I wish you the best. My prayer to you for 2021 is for you to continue going full force, for you not to stop, for you to continue not being afraid to trying something different, something new, because you have something very, very special, Manny. You have something that you have no idea, the gift that you have, and you just don't stop. You continue going forward, because to quit does not exist. Thank y'all for tuning in to this long episode, last one of 2020.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Y'all be safe. The next time that y'all listen to us will be the first one of 2021. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Blessings to you all. Thank you for this episode, Manny. And other than that, be safe, peace, love, and God bless.
We are out.